Dinah and I are hiking up a trail to the Calico Hills. We won't be climbing in the hills, but rather passing through them to reach a peak on the other side, Damsel Peak. The trail begins in Calico Basin and climbs to a col left of Craft Mountain. On the other side of the col, the trail drops down 40 meters to a wash. Here we see a lizard who sits motionless before scurrying away. Ahead is Turtlehead Peak. We'll eventually pass on the right side of it. There's the wash we must reach. We'll walk about 400 meters up it to a fork. We'll take the right fork to another wash. Even though it's flat, the wash is slow going. The loose stones under our boots give little traction. After reaching the fork, we start up the other wash, this one narrower and rocky. We'll stay in this wash for quite some time. But with its steep walls and solid footing, it's an enjoyable hike. The wash appears to end at this basin. We bear to the left here a bit and find a way through the white rocks ahead. After some route finding, we climb out of the basin and we can see the summit of Damsel Peak. The summit is on the left. Now we make our way down to Brownstone Basin below. At the end of this chute, on our right are some pictographs. And that's Las Vegas in the background. It's taken us 2.5 hours to get to Brownstone Basin, but Damsel Peak still seems far away. From this basin, we hike up this side wash that will take us to a col on the left side of Damsel Peak. This part of our trip was a slog. The wash becomes narrow and the sides rise up so that there's little to see. It seems to go on for a long time. Eventually we see the col ahead. On our right we can see the steep cliffs of Damsel's south face. We'll soon be walking on its ridgeline. Finally the wash flattens and we find it easy to hike on the right side. We need to get around and behind the steep rock on our right. A small arch breaks up the monotony of our ascent to the col. We didn't have to go through this arch, but it seemed like a fun thing to do. As we climb, the views open up and we can see El Padre and La Madre behind us on our left. On the mid-slopes of Damsel, we work our way through trees and low bushes. There's not much to see here. Finally, we see the summit. From here, we'll head to our right to gain the ridge crest. We've made it to the ridge crest and travel is easy. We're not far from the summit now. From the ridge, we have far-ranging views to the south. There's Calico Hills, and we can see the section we had to cross to reach Brownstone Basin. Now Dinah and I take our last steps to the summit of Damsel Peak. We were expecting it to be cold and windy on top, but instead it was quite pleasant.